TVASIA Telugu ప్రేక్షకులందరికీ hello and welcome to yet another absolutely fantastic show of the talk show with the experts. మనతో మన expert ఉన్నారు Rahul Reddy garu. Welcome to the show. It's so good to see you.
Thanks for inviting, Andy. It's a very great opportunity to participate in this thing and help our Telugu community out as much as I can.
Thank you for being here, sir. My company, Reddy Neumann P.C, and a company, it's a Houston-based company, and you have a team of 18 lawyers who are working day and night to help a lot of immigrants with their issues and, the legal process. So thank you for being here on the show and to also help so many of our viewers and so many of our callers with all of their immigration-related questions and matter.
Sure.
So let's get started with the show. But before we do, viewers andarki oka request andi, you can call us at 1-866-882-8872. Call చేసిన తర్వాత please know that you'll be put in a waiting room where you'll hear some music until your call has been enabled to talk with us. Our time ki, please press *6 to mute and as well as unmute your line and matter. So as soon as you can hear us talking, please press *6 to unmute your line so then you can talk to us right away. Rahul garu, before we start taking callers, which we already are seeing in our queue, our main two topics for today is, I think it's on the minds of a lot of people right now. They're asking whether they can work for two companies at the same time on an H-1B. And also, the second main topic is what is expected from the October visa bulletin for employment-based visa holders. So let's go to the first one. So I think many people have this question, especially because now they're at home, they feel like they have bandwidth to work with two or more companies on a single H-1B. Rahul garu, is that possible? Cheyocha, cheyakudada? Just please let us know what your thoughts are on it.
Nitya garu, there are two parts in that question. That the way you asked is that to work for two different end clients with the same employer, that's one question that you said. The second one is with two different employers. So I'm going to segregate both of them separately though.
Okay.
With one single employer, can a person have two different end clients and do the job? The answer is yes, they can. Do they need to file any amendment or need to do anything? Unless there is a significant amount of hours and also salary changes, the company can file an amendment and that will clear the things up. They don't need to file a fresh H-1B or anything. They just need to file an amendment. Now, the second question, Nitya, what you asked is, can a person on H-1B work for two different employers on two different H-1Bs at the same time? The answer is yes, they can. The second company must file something called concurrently filing H-1B. If they file that concurrently filing H-1B, they can work for two different companies. There are situations we see where the demand is very high for the people. They can even have third company also file for a H-1B and work for three different employers on three different H-1Bs at the same time. Especially some of the skill sets are very rare. We have seen that especially in the security sector and the data analytics sector, we see all those people. These people are staying at home. Their skills are very, very highly skilled people. A lot of people ask the question, can I work for two full-time jobs? That means 40 hours at the same time. I mean, when I started practicing law, I used to work 80 hours. Nowadays, I only work 60 hours. There's nothing wrong in these young guys working for 80 hours at the same time for two different companies. Absolutely not a problem. The H-1Bs can be filed reflecting that they are working 80 hours. And we the government like their taxes that they pay. I mean, they are making money. Everybody's making money. The government is getting its taxes. As long as they pay taxes, absolutely no problem. The H-1B reflecting it, it should not be any problem at all. Now, Nitya, you asked the second question, what is expected in the October?
Yeah.
First thing people need to understand is that the fiscal year for the immigration starts on October 1st. So that's practically January 1st for the USCIS. So there are 140,000 green cards allocated every year for employment based. Now we have knowledge that at least 100,000 extra green cards will be given because of the wastage that was done in the family immigration to the employment immigration. Wastage done in 2020, that will be given. But will the 100,000 green cards will be given in the first month itself, or will it be prorated accordingly in each month until September of 2021. It will be prorated. In other words, not all 100,000 will be released at one point of time. They'll be gradually released. We're expecting the priority dates for EB3 to move to current. It may or may not happen in October. If it doesn't happen in October, it is expected in the next 3 months. It is expected after October. It is expected to be current for EB1 category. Okay. EB2 for rest of the world, it's already current. For Indian nationals, we're expecting advancement maybe up to 2011. That's my estimate, but I can be wrong in it. All the way to the year end, which is September, we're expecting it to go to maybe 2012. It may touch 2013. That's just expectation for the EB2. EB3, we're expecting priority date to be current for the rest of the world, not for Indian nationals, but for the rest of the world, it is expected to be current. For Indian nationals, we're expecting some advance, some advancement, maybe to 2011, that's or up to 2012. It could be for the EB3. But it may not happen in October. It's going to happen gradually until September of 2021.
Wow. Okay, good to know. There's so many things that...
Yeah, I know. If you're waiting for the priority date to be current, it is very, these are very, people call me, when is my priority date is going to be current? It's tension. I myself was, went through this process, and unfortunately, I got my green card in May of 1996, actually. The priority date went backlogged in June of 1996. So by the time I went for the adjustment of status interview, it was already backlogged. But luckily, I got in May, not in June. So it's very crucial. Had I missed that, it would have taken 3 more years for me to get the green card. So yeah, it is crucial for the people who are waiting for the priority date to become current.
I hear you. So Rahul, we have a few callers who are waiting. So let's
sure.
Start taking them one by one.
Sure.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, this is Veda. Hello, madam, this is Harshini. I have a question. My H1B 6 years max term అయిపోయింది March 1st week లో. And so I exited country on this expiration date. And what happened after, hello?
Yes, I'm listening.
Yeah.
March 31st expire అయిపోయింది.
March 1st అయిపోయింది. So March 1st కి ఎగ్జిట్ అయిపోయింది కంట్రీ. కాకపోతే నాకు పర్మ్ అప్లై చేస్తారు November 1st week లో. సో మళ్ళీ నాకు April 1st week లో అప్రూవ్ అయింది పర్మ్. But now I'm jobless. I don't have the job and I exited the country and I'm in India right now. And my employer kuda, I'm not with the employer, but as perm approval kabatti I requested for filing for I-140. So మీరు the best possibilities చెప్తారు. So because right now I don't have the job and questionnaire ఇచ్చినప్పుడు I-140. Yeah, please go ahead.
Even if you're not working for that particular company though, the job opportunity for the I-140 is a future job opportunity. Even though you're in India right now, they can file an I-140 if they want to. So it will be up to the employer to file the I-140 application right now, even though you're not working for that company right now.
Okay. Is there any conditions, because they're asking for the pay stubs, the day I got the priority date of perm?
Right. You don't need to provide the pay stubs because you're in India. You're not supposed to work in USA. You don't need to. They normally, lawyers will ask for the pay stubs. It's a general questionnaire that they ask. But you can explain to the lawyer, look, I am not working at this point of time. I had my pay stubs until March, and you can provide the pay stubs until March.
Okay, awesome. So is that any criteria of the salary if they, because I don't have any mention the salary, because they said, when I was talking to my employer, they said you are no more employed with us because already they have given me the relieving letter. So I don't have any contact only because of the perm and requesting.
The question you need to answer is that, is your employer willing to file an I-140? If he is not willing to file an I-140, there is nothing you, I, or anybody can do. If he wants to file an I-140, if he wants to file it, he can file it.
Okay. whatever the salary, it won't be a constraint, right, for me, because I can get through approved I-140.
Yeah, right. You have a chance of getting through the approval even though you're not working. You can't work. You don't even have a work permit in USA to work. So you technically cannot have a pay stub. It's perfectly okay. It's up to them to file an I-140. Okay?
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, sir. I would be going for the premium. Is that fine, or else what do you suggest? Can you please let me know?
I would do premium too if I were you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I got clarification. Have a great day.
Please make sure you like and subscribe our show both on Facebook and YouTube, so you can be updated live on Facebook as well every week here. Rahul Garu,
sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Rahul Garu, we have our next question from 𝗓𝗪𝗘. It's a YouTuber. They want to confirm, if we lose a job on H-1B, from when do we start accumulating unlawful presence in the USA? Day we lose the job, or after 60 days grace period is over, that the unlawful presence day one starts?
Assuming the I-94 is still valid, the 60-day grace period starts on the day you lose the job. And after 60 days, if you're still in the country and if you have the I-94 valid still, you are accruing the out-of-status days from the time the 60-day starts. Now, I'm assuming the I-94 is still valid though. But if the person doesn't have an I-94, the 60 days starts from the time when the I-94 expires. It's either 60 days or when the I-94 expires, whichever is the least, whichever is before. It's not that it's both. I mean, it's not that I-94 is valid for 6 months, you can take the 6 months. No, it's only going to be 60 days. But if the I-94 expires in only 30 days, so you don't have 60 days, it's only 30 days.
Got it. All right, thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's go to our next caller, Ms. 𝗓𝗪𝗘. I hope you got your questions answered, but let's take our next caller, Reddy. Hello? Hello, sir? Hello, ma'am?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Rahul. I do have a question. Actually, I am on H4 and the I-94 is till September mid, and I do have an approved H1B from starting October. But unfortunately, my husband lost the job due to COVID very recently, and he did not file his extension yet. So if my husband doesn't get the job till September 15th, so what would be my options for that 15 days?
Yikes. We have noticed this, that some of the service centers are approving cases with the I-94, even though your I-94 with the H4 has expired on September 15th, they have given an October 1st I-94. You could do one thing. The best option that is available for you is that in October 1st, you can step outside the country and come back to clear all the problems that you may have. The other option that you may have is that on September 15th, you can step out to Mexico or Canada, stay for 15 days, and on October 1st, you come back on H1B. If you want to avoid the problem. The other, I can also suggest you one other thing is that you can file a B2 application for those 15 days, okay? You won't get a B2 approval. I want you to withdraw the B2 after October 1st.
Okay, so just to clarify this, so is it an easy process to withdraw the B2?
Yeah, it is easy process. You just have to make it a couple of times. Sometimes they don't pay attention to it. But yeah, it's not that hard to withdraw the B2 application now. You just have to call them. First, you write a letter to them to withdraw, and then you have to keep on calling them, raise a service request. It takes a whole 1 week process for you to get that thing done.
Okay, sure. And actually, I do have one more question. So since my husband's I-94 is through, so we went out of the country early this year, and his I-94 date has mid-September, September 15th, whereas on his H1B application, it states as September 24th. So, so is my husband will be able to apply for the new H1B, H1B extension through September 24th?
No, it is only until his I-94 expires. If his I-94 is expiring on September 15th, it's not 24th, it is September 15th. Okay?
Okay.
Thank
Sure.
you.
So the I-94 expiry date is that something reflecting on our online I-94 form?
Yeah,
Or
that's
something
the only way
else?
that's the only way you can check. That's the only way you can tell me that the I-94 is expiring on September 15th when you traveled outside the country, when you come back. There is no other way for you to tell me that it expires on September 15th.
But we do have some other date on our H1B copy also, right? On his H1B copy.
That's
saying
irrelevant.
That,
That's irrelevant, ma'am. That is irrelevant. Your I-94
Okay.
counts. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Rahul Garu, let's
Thank
go
you.
to our next caller. Have a lot of them waiting. Hello?
Hello.
Sir, *6 press just unmute this phone, please. Hello? Sir, *6 ఇంకోసారి ప్రెస్ చేస్తే అన్మ్యూట్ అవుతుందండి. It's the same button to mute and unmute. So ఒకసారి *6.
Yeah, ఇప్పుడు
వినపడుతుందండి.
yeah, I unmuted it, madam.
Okay, awesome.
Can you hear me?
Sir, చెప్పండి. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Nitya ji and Rahul ji. The question for me is that నేను ఇప్పుడు రీసెంట్ గా నాకు గ్రీన్ కార్డ్ వచ్చిందండి 1 week before on 8/26 and 8/26 వచ్చి చేంజ్ ఆఫ్ స్టేటస్ అని కార్డ్ ప్రొడక్షన్ అని మెసేజ్ వచ్చింది అండ్ 27th కేసు అప్రూవ్డ్ అని వచ్చింది సార్. మా ఎంప్లాయర్ ఏం చేశారంటే 25th ఈవినింగ్ నా H1B ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ ని మెయిల్ చేశారు. ఎందుకంటే నా H1B వచ్చి ఈ ఇయర్ ఎండ్కి అయిపోతా ఉందని H1B ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ మెయిల్ చేశారు. ఇప్పుడు ఆ H1B ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ మెయిల్ చేసిన వల్ల ఏదైనా ఇష్యూ వస్తుందా సార్? నా గ్రీన్ కార్డ్ ఇంకా నా చేతికి రాలేదు గ్రీన్ కార్డ్.
No problem. That's not going to cause any problem at all. It's just a honest mistake.
Okay.
It's going to, and no fraud has been committed. Nothing has been done. Your employer is a very nice guy and you are in a good shape. No problem with anything.
ఓకే. నా ఎంప్లాయర్ ఇంకొక మాట ఏం చెప్పారంటే సార్, ఇప్పుడు విత్డ్రా చేసుకోలేము, ఈ రిసిప్ట్ నెంబర్ వచ్చిన తర్వాతే నేను విత్డ్రా చేసుకోగలుగుతాను, అంతవరకు ఉండాల్సిందే అని అంటున్నారు సార్. అది ఓకే నాటుంటే?
That's perfectly all right. How can he withdraw? There is no receipt notice. He can't communicate with immigration. He has to wait for the receipt notice. So he's doing very good. I like this employer.
Okay.
Give that employer to other friends of yours. Yeah, he looks to be a nice employer.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Nadi pharmaceutical company.
Nice.
Sir, one more question, sir. Yeah, ఇప్పుడు H1 ఇప్పుడు గ్రీన్ కార్డ్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత I-94 ఆల్రెడీ నా దగ్గర ఉండే I-94 డిసెంబర్కి ఎక్స్పైర్ అవుతుంది సార్. దాన్ని ఏం చేసేది సార్?
ఫుట్బాల్ మాదిరి పెట్టి తనేసండి. మీకు ఎందుకండి I-94 ఇంకా గ్రీన్ కార్డ్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత?
ఓకే సార్. ఓకే సార్. అయితే
ఓకే
సార్, another question, one more last question if you don't mind, sir.
షూర్, చెప్పండి.
సార్, నేను ఒక ఫార్మాస్యూటికల్ కంపెనీలో పనిచేస్తుంటాను సార్. నాకు ఇంకొక కంపెనీ ఆఫర్ ఇచ్చింది. నేను మీ అడ్వైస్ ముందు ఇచ్చారు, ఇప్పుడు జాయిన్ అవ్వక, ఎందుకంటే కరెంట్ లో ఉండేటప్పుడు గ్రీన్ కార్డ్ వచ్చేస్తుంది అని. ఆ చెప్పినలాగానే నాకు గ్రీన్ కార్డ్ వచ్చింది. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఆ కొత్త కంపెనీకి జాయిన్ అవ్వాలంటే ఏదైనా వెయిట్ చేయాలా సార్? 60 days, 90 days, 180 days అలా ఏదైనా వెయిట్ చేయాల్సింది?
ఏం అవసరం లేదు. There is no waiting period required for you. Previously, since a green card was not approved, you're supposed to file a 485J supplement. But since a green card is approved, you don't have to do anything. But make sure that at least you get the 797, the receipt notice, not just the online statement, but a 797 from the immigration saying that your green card is approved.
Okay. సార్, అలా ఆ సిచ్యువేషన్ లో నేను ఆ స్టాంప్ తీసుకోవచ్చా వెళ్ళి ఇక్కడ?
ఇప్పుడు బాగా ఇబ్బంది అవుతుందండి స్టాంప్ కు. ద బెటర్ ఇస్ వెయిట్ ఫర్ ద గ్రీన్ కార్డ్. వై డు యు నీడ్ స్టాంప్? యు డోంట్ నీడ్ స్టాంప్. సో యు వుడ్ బి దట్ 797 is good enough for you right now. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for all your advice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nitya.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your green card. Exactly. All right, just another update for our viewers. You can also catch us on TVASIA Telugu as the actual TV channel itself, on Dish Network, Sling TV, World BB TV, as well as Facebook and YouTube. Okay, so don't forget, there's so many different places you can tune in and watch us. All right, 𝗂𝗓𝗓𝗪, on to our next caller. Hello. Sir, ma'am, please *6 press చేయండి unmute చేసుకోవడానికి. Sir, *6 to unmute, please. Awesome. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Cheppandi. We can hear you now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Actually, my parents came here last year on September 26th, and we have applied for extension for them in March, and we got the receipt number. But we were scheduling a biometric appointment on March 31st, and when we went there, the office is closed, and the security guard mentioned that all the appointments are cancelled, and we have not heard back from them until yesterday, and yesterday we got a biometric schedule for September 16th. Actually, we are hoping to file for another extension because my mom, she is a diabetic and they are somewhat aged, and we are hoping to apply for another 6 months. So is there any risk or anything, or do we have to wait until the biometric appointment?
You don't have to wait for the biometrics appointment to file the second extension. We normally don't recommend people to apply for we normally don't recommend people for applying the second extension though. But this is not normal circumstances. You know, it's like a third world war going on, especially on health. And if your parents are not that healthy wise, you don't want them flying in a flight with 500 people breathing each other's air. So yeah, you can file the second extension. While this extension is pending, you can file the second extension. In the I-539, when they ask you when the I-94 offer is expiring or when the status of it is expiring, you can type in saying that extension pending and apply the second extension. Okay?
So actually in the previous 539 form, we mentioned it as March 25th. So
I know, absolutely. No. In the previous
extension that we are okay.
Yeah. In this one, you're going to mention it as extension pending.
Extension pending. Okay. And I think I forgot my question. So,
okay.
Sir, the last time when we were about to ask for apply for extension, we called and spoke with you, and you told that it's not that advisable to apply for extension if they already stayed for 6 months, but somehow we applied. So it will be 1 year.
Well, there is a difference. There is a difference between March statement of mine, and there is a difference on April statement though. We never recommended people to apply extensions, so we tell them to leave the country though. That was before March. Yeah. But now what happened is that in March, we have something called COVID that came out, which is a serious pandemic, and that's bothering a lot of people's health. So my before March statement and after March statement has a lot of difference.
Okay. And one more question, sir. Sir, when we are filing the extension for now, can we ask for an extension until next March, or will it be too much?
Only 6 months. You cannot apply for B2 extension for more than 6 months. Okay?
Yes, because that will be 1 year from so first time they got 6 months when they entered the United States, and then we applied for extension.
From now onwards, only for 6 months. previously in March, you applied until September 26th. So from September 26th, now you can only apply until March.
Okay. Okay. So, my question is, do you recommend applying less than 6 months because they are already here from 1 year?
No, ma'am. I'm having a lot of problems with a lot of times where people have applied for 4 months in March. They have to refile it because they did it in 4 months. I would recommend that you apply for 6 months right now. Okay?
Oh, okay. And one more question, sir. Last time when I applied until July 25th. So does it matter if we ask for...
Okay. Why did not you tell me that you applied for July 26th? Now you're telling me after spending 3-4 minutes. They are considered to be unlawful status right now because you only applied until July. And from July to right now, they are not in a lawful status. I would recommend that you contact a lawyer. There are some negative consequences. You should have filed the second extension before July.
Oh, before July. Okay. Because we were waiting for the biometric.
Let's give chance to the other people. This is a serious matter. You should not wait for the biometrics appointment. You should have filed an extension. You should have contacted a lawyer, at least if you did not have a knowledge, or you should have come to this TVASIA thing where we would have given a guidance. But now we can't go back. So I would recommend that you contact a lawyer immediately. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you, ma'am. You're always welcome to contact Reddy Neumann P.C. as well. They can help you, with this issue of yours and 𝗏. It seems to be pretty serious. So, like Rahul Garu suggested, go ahead with them. Rahul Garu, we have one more caller waiting. Let's take the next call. Hello? Hello, sir?
Hello. Yeah. Am I ready?
Can you put the TV off?
Sir, మీ TV mute చేసుకుంటారా, please?
Hello. Yeah. Hello.
చెప్పండి, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. This is, I don't know whether this is regarding the immigration, but is it the right platform to ask for the pandemic unemployment assistance which we are getting? Actually, I'm a green card and I lost my job in the early this year. And since then, I did not have any job. And my wife also, she never did any work here in US. We are getting pandemic unemployment assistance, but some place we saw that this assistance we cannot get or something like that. Is there anything that...
Let me answer that. If you are getting the unemployment benefits because you're unemployed right now, will it cause any problem in your maintenance of the green card or in your getting the citizenship when the time comes? Let me answer that. No, it will not cause any problem if you're getting the unemployment benefits though. This is more like an insurance, medical insurance. We have paid, your company has paid, you have paid for this insurance of unemployment and you're getting it. It will not cause any problems whatsoever at all in maintaining the green card and getting the citizenship later on.
No, I'm not asking about the green card actually. So I'm asking about my wife have never worked before. And is she eligible for the pandemic unemployment assistance?
I am not going to advise you whether or not she's eligible for the unemployment. I would recommend that you contact a CPA. They will be the proper guidance persons for it. Actually, we applied it and got it already. So will there be any problem? Because first of all, they have to determine and give us, right? I would still want you to contact a CPA because I don't know if you're eligible or not. And if you're not eligible, you should contact the State Workforce Commission and give the money back to them.
Okay.
My expertise is just in immigration. I am not good in this accounting and other things though. TVASIA does has a CPA that comes in every Saturday, so you can tune into him too if you want to.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
you for calling. Rahul, that was an interesting set of questions, and
Sure.
one thing that I know you keep telling people is either call us or call some lawyer before anything expires on your application process, or any dates have passed through before you try to do some renewal of something, because our previous caller, her parents, I just hope there's no issues in terms of them continuing to stay here, mainly because of the pandemic.
Sure.
I know a lot of things have been overlooked. Rahul Garu, we have one other question from our YouTube viewer also. This is from Varalakshmi. She says, the USCIS website is currently showing current I-539 application processing date is Jan 18th, 2020. Can we use that date as a baseline for the one applied in March 2020?
I don't know the question exactly. Maybe they should call, because it's not clear to me. What do you mean by baseline? Does she mean to expedite the process? Does she mean that? I don't know exactly. So
I'm not sure either, because this is the extent of the question we have. So on this note, let's go ahead and take a quick short commercial break, and we'll be back in a jiffy, guys.
Sure.
Guys, welcome back to the show. We're back after a short commercial break. So callers, please, you can call us at 866-882-8872. Once you're on, you'll hear a good amount of music while you're waiting in the waiting room on Mata. Soon as you stop hearing the music, please press *6 to unmute, and that way you can talk to us and ask us any questions that you guys have. So while we're waiting for our callers, Rahul Garu, let's discuss this other thing about updates on the consulate itself, the USCIS, and the biometric appointments. I know there's been like a lot of lag, a lot of back and forth with these dates and people not being able to get appointments and stuff. So can you elaborate things for us there?
Consulates are giving emergency appointments right now.
Okay.
The regular appointments, especially in Mexico and Canada, seems to be available somewhere in November. But for India, it seems that they are available only in the month of February of 2021. For the student visa, they are giving appointments currently in the US consulates in India right now. Okay. So immediately. There is also drop-box provision that was there for a lot of the visa people for B2, B1, and also for H1 and L1 people because of the drop-box. The previous conditions, whatever were there, they are still there. They're still applicable. They can now apply in the drop-box if they're eligible. This came only last week. So if somebody is eligible for drop-box, they should go for the drop-box. That means they go and drop in the box and they go for the biometrics and they get the visa approval. And sometimes, they may be called for the interview, but most of the people does get the interview. So this goes without the interview. That is available right now. With regards to the biometrics, we have noticed that they are requesting people to come to the biometrics. Is it come to the full scale like what it was pre-pandemic, that is pre-April of 2020? No. It's still backlogged. In April of 2020 or March of 2020, it was backlogged to about 1 month. So once you file an application, it used to take 1 month. Right now, the things that it's still backlogged by about 6 to 7 months. We're expecting that they will catch it up soon because they have enough staff in the biometrics at this point of time.
Okay, got it. That makes sense. Rahul Garu, thank you so much for that information. I think we have another caller waiting for you. So let's go to our next caller. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, sir. Japan, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hi, Rahul. Yeah, this is Rini. I spoke with you regarding with my daughter. I took the consultation. I sent one email yesterday. Maybe I'm waiting the reply from you. And also my priority date is the EB2 May 17th and 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And also my daughter is aging out in the November 22nd. Okay. We already applied for H4 to F1 and we are waiting. Actually, I'm planning to go to you as per advice bridge application if required 1 month before. That's why I need some details on that. Yesterday I sent email.
Yeah, since it's a Saturday, I will, and today is Sunday, I will respond by Monday.
Okay, sure, definitely, Rahul, definitely.
Sure.
And also, what are the chances for EB2, May 17, 2010?
It's very bright that that it is going to move forward, but will it do in October? I don't know. I think so. You have a great chance within 90% chance to become current because you're on May 17th. Prior to date used to be current until May 1st of 2010. That was in March of 2012. So it's been 8 years now. It hasn't moved past May 1st. So because of the extra 100,000 green cards, it is, I'm expecting it. Hopefully I'm going to be right on that. It is expected to move. Will it move in October? I can't tell. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm waiting for your email regarding the bridge.
Sure, I will respond. It's just a weekend. Normally I respond to on Monday. Okay? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. All our immigration lawyers who are working tirelessly also have to have a break on the weekend so that we'll get back to you on Monday. All right, Rahul, we have a few more questions for you that have come in. This one viewer says, I had approved I-140 from employer A for almost a year before I switched to employer B. Employer A has withdrawn the I-140 petition. What are my options now for the next extension on H-1B due next year?
Assuming the withdrawal happened after January 17th of 2017, assuming, he would not have any problem whatsoever at all for him to extend the H-1B with the company B. He has I-140 with company A, which was been withdrawn after 1 year and after January 17th of 2017. So he will not have any problem whatsoever at all in extending the H-1B with company B when the time comes in. Just because the I-140 has been withdrawn will not have any negative impact because it was been approved for more than 180 days. Also, if he wants to move from company B to company C, the same I-140 approval with company A can be used. And if his or her spouse wants to use the I-140 approval to get an EAD, even though it's been withdrawn, it will not have any negative impact in getting the H-4 EAD approval.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. I think we have another caller also waiting.
Sure.
Let's go to the next caller. Hello? Hello?
Hi, this is Gautam. I would like to post a question for Rahul.
Please go ahead, sir. Yeah. Check on.
Hi, Rahul. My name is Gautam. I have a question for you. Recently my I-140 got approved, and if I have to apply for EAD for my wife, whether my employer has to apply for I-485 or is there any restriction currently that I-485 can't be filed? That I wanted to know.
Which country you are from? You and your wife are born in India, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. The priority date is backlogged significantly right now. It's about 2009 or 2010, depending on EB2 and EB3. You just got an I-140 approved, so your priority date must be either 2019 or 2020. There's a lot of serious backlog. So you cannot file a 485 application right now. Absolutely, you cannot. However, if your wife is on H4 or if she wants to convert into H4, you can file a EAD application for your wife based on the I-140. That is called H4 EAD. There are many different EADs though. Your wife is not eligible for adjustment of status EAD, but your wife is eligible for H4 EAD because your I-140 is approved.
Okay, understood. Okay, so but there is no restriction on that as of now. We can still go ahead and apply.
No, sir.
For that.
No restriction.
Oh.
No restriction whatsoever at all right now. You can file H4. Thank you for tuning in for TVASIA, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Andy. Okay, Rahul, I think we have another caller waiting as well. Let's go ahead with that. Hello? Hello?
Please press *6 to unmute, Andy.
Unmute చేసుకున్నారు.
Yeah, to mute or unmute, both the things is star mute.
6 ఇంకోసారి నొక్కండి సార్ ప్లీజ్.
Hello.
హలో.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Hi, Rahul garu.
హలో సార్ చెప్పండి.
Yeah. Rahul garu, నాది H1 పిటిషన్ ఫిబ్రవరిలో ఎక్స్పైర్ అవుతుంది with I-94 also.
February 2021. February 2021.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So my employer ఇప్పుడు ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ ఫైల్ చేస్తున్నారు. So in case ఇప్పుడు ఫైల్ చేసే ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ డినై అయితే what will be the impact on my previous H1?
Absolutely. You are allowed to work until February 2021. So if it's denied, it will not have any negative impact. Your employer is a very good guy. Try to file in premium processing. If you get the denial, you can do one thing. You can refile the application again. And you can continue working until February, irrespective of anything happens there.
Yeah. Is there any chance that 𝗂ci is touching my previous approved H1?
One in 10,000 chances to touch the February one if this gets denied. They have to revoke it. They have to issue a notice to intent. There must be something absolutely wrong with the previous application for them to revoke it. So don't worry about it. It won't affect it. You should file as soon as possible. Your employer is a very nice employer. He's trying to file as soon as possible because if you get the denial, he gets a second chance to file it. And try to do in premium processing.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for calling. So Rahul garu, I think for a change today, we're hearing a lot about very good employers today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not, most of the employers are very good. What happens is that if people don't tell about good things. When something bad happens, they will tell more. So if there is some good employer, I mean, the guy, has filed a H-1B extension when the green card just got approved, and these guys, people don't keep on telling about them. Something bad done by an employer, it feels like, the employers are the worst people in the entire world. No, that's not true. That's not true. There are 1 to 2% of the employers might be bad, but, they get more famous.
Yeah, it's always good to hear about them on our show because usually when people call, it's always about some problem that they have.
Yeah.
But it's nice to hear about the good ones.
Yeah, especially this particular employer is trying to file as soon as possible. Some people file very late. Those are not good employers. And the people who file very early and try to file in premium processing, they are the best ones.
Awesome. So guys, please do find those good employers and go join them. Rahul garu, we have a couple more questions for you. So one of our viewers wants to know, what is the complexity when I'm traveling to Mexico or Canada on a visiting visa? I do not have any valid stamped visa, but have valid petition till year end. Can I come back to the USA?
I'm assuming that the I-94 is valid, and I'm assuming that this person is on either H1 or H4. If the I-94 is expiring in December of 2020, and they don't have a visa stamping in the H1 or H4, though, they can travel to Mexico, they can travel to Canada, as long as they don't apply for the visa status and get it rejected in the consulates there. They can come back to USA within 30 days after they leave the country. So if they go to Canada and Mexico, they can come back within 30 days, even though they don't have the passport stamping in with them. That is called automatic revalidation. If somebody wants to Google about it, it is called automatic revalidation. This exception is available for H1 and H4s only if they go to Mexico or Canada. It's not available when you go to India or Dubai or something like that. For F1 visas, some Caribbean islands and certain other countries that are adjacent to United States are exempt, but for H4s and H1s, it's only Mexico and Canada. I also want this person to be aware that there is a restriction by the Trump administration that only essential travelers are allowed to come into United States through the land border. That means that from Mexico and Canada, only essential workers. So if you try to come through the land border, there may be restriction for you. But let me tell you one thing. If you fly, that restriction is not there. So if this H4 person or H4 person goes to Mexico or Canada and comes back within 30 days and they fly back in, there is no restriction, they can come back in.
Oh, interesting. Wow, okay. How a mode of transport can change things for people.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Rahul Garu, we have one more caller. Thank you for that
Sure.
answer. But we have one more caller to get to. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, sir. Cheppandi.
Hi, Rahul Garu. My EB3 priority date is like 40 days away from what is current, November 11th, 2009. I was hoping the September bulletin, there will be some movement, but unfortunately not. So I'm just wondering, based on whatever you're saying, like there's about 100,000 that's going to become available. Do you really think it will stay here or move forward, or do you think like how we typically see whether it will retrogress?
This is not a typical year. I just want you to note it down. This extra 100,000 is already confirmed for us right now, and confirmed that there will be extra green cards though. And you may, if you can put the TV off, that'll be good for us. I'm pretty expecting for you it should be current. And its September visa bulletin is different than October though. October is where the year starts. So this extra 100,000 green cards will not be given. Not a single of that will be given in the September visa bulletin. They should only start giving from October. That is what the law is. So you can expect some movement in October.
All right, cool. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for calling in. We have a couple more questions. So one viewer wants to know what happens if H1 transfer is pending for over 240 days. Can I still work?
Yes. If it is H1B transfer, you can still work. The 240-day rule is only if you are filing an extension with the same employer and after the I-94 expires. You cannot continue working after 240 days. But when it's a case of transfer, though, which you said, Nitya Garu, that this person has applied for transfer, the 240-day rule is not applicable. They can continue working until the case is decided.
Okay. Got it. Awesome. Thank you, Rahul Garu. I think we have one more caller. Let's get to that. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Andy.
Sir, Cheppandi. We can hear you.
నేను ఇమిగ్రేషన్ దాని గురించి క్వశ్చన్ ఉంది దానికోసం కాల్ చేస్తున్నాను.
Cheppandi, sir. We have Rahul Garu here.
I'm sorry?
We have Rahul Garu here to answer your question.
Hi, Rahul Garu. How are you? I was following all your, every Tuesday videos, and I try to get into the every your lunch hour questionnaire, but like I did not get a chance to talk to you.
Well, we are here. Let's start.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. My question is, my EB3 priority date is May 2010, 12 May 2010. And after that, I did my master's. My employer converted my EB3 to EB2. When I spoke to him last week, he said my EB2 and EB3 both are active. I mean, he did not cancel any of it. So we are hearing all this news, about like next year 140 adding. So my question is, if EB2 and EB3 both get current for a given scenario, and what do you suggest me to apply for? Do I need to go ahead with EB2 or EB3? Because extra will become for EB1, then EB2, then EB3.
If you see...
you're not right on that. They will go in proportionate to the 28.8%. Proportionately, they will go to EB1, EB2, and EB3. If you ask me the question, though, if both are current, which one you should use, I will pull out a coin from my pocket and toss it up, and then I will ask you heads or tail, and then whatever comes out, and I will put it out heads as EB3 and tails as EB2, and whatever comes out, I'll give you the answer.
Okay. Because I see, I mean, till May, it came last, 2007, 2010, it came up to, May 1st, 2010, the EB2. I missed in few days, that time. I don't want to get stuck in EB2 or EB3, and one is moving faster because,
As I said, if you want an answer from me, I don't have a coin in the pocket right now, but you can come to the next time. I will have the coin, or I can ask Nithya if she has a coin, and then let's do that. I mean, that's how I will tell right now. Believe me, that's the only judgment I can do. I can't tell which one is going to move faster, so I will move the burden to Nithya Gar and to you, and especially on the coin.
Okay.
And if something goes wrong, I will blame the coin.
No problem.
We hope you get a green card soon. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you.
All right. Rahul, we have a couple more callers waiting for us, so let's get to that. Hello? Hello? Hello, sir?
Hello?
Ma'am, Japan, ma'am. Me TV mute cheskuntara, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
I have a question for Rahul. Rahul, actually, I lost my job in April, and I have I could not find a job. I filed a NPT H4. I am still waiting for the receipt and for the biometrics. My I-94 is ending this month on the 18th. What should I? Can I continue to stay if the I-94 is ending on the 18th?
And that's April is right now, ma'am. I do not recommend, ma'am. I recommend that you leave the country. NPT is a little bit dangerous, though, because if you don't get the approval, it is going to cause a problem. I do not understand why when you have an H4 option and you could have filed H4 online, you waited until now after the 60 days expired to do it. It's really mind-boggling for me. You did one mistake. I do not want you to do one more mistake. So I would recommend that you leave. Otherwise, you may end up accumulating the unlawful presence after your I-94 with the H-1B expires. And you may have already been accumulating the overstay. There's a difference between an overstay and unlawful presence. You already are maybe accumulating the overstay. But from the I-94 expiration date, you will also accumulate the unlawful presence. So those are dangerous things. I would want you to leave the country, ma'am.
Actually, Rahul, I had got an H-1B extension till Jan 2022. But when I entered the country this year, in December, I went to India. When I entered the country, they never changed the I-94 date. They kept it of my previous employer's date. They never updated it till 2022.
Yeah, so the I-94 stands good because you never corrected it by leaving outside the country and coming back. Now you can't do it because you don't have that job. So you're still stuck with the I-94. You should have corrected it now. I only told that you did one mistake. Now I'm seeing that you did two mistakes. You should have corrected that before. When you had a job before April of 2020, you should have corrected that problem, ma'am. Right
so
now,
Rahul,
you can't
now
correct
there
it.
is no way.
I know, but you're consistently doing mistakes. I don't want you, you did one mistake. I said, now I see that you did two mistakes. You should have corrected this before. I strongly recommend to keep tuning in to the TVASIA Telugu immigration every week so that you can get the updates of what's going on. You did one mistake by not correcting the I-94. You did the two mistakes but not filing an H4 application when you are eligible. You waited for 60 days. I don't want you to do the third mistake here now, to wait until the NPT, non-proton argument, is approved. I would recommend that you leave the country, ma'am. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for tuning in.
Okay, Rahul. But Rahul, just to confirm, so, but I had traveled in December. I had my approved I-94, but the entry person did not correct the I-94.
I know, but you should correct it at that time when you had a job, not right now when you don't have a job. Here is what the thing is, ma'am. If your immigration lawyer does a mistake, or if the immigration does a mistake, if the border people does a mistake, or if you do the mistake, let me tell you who will be the sufferer. You. You should have realized it, and let's not do, they did one mistake, you did not correct it, you should have corrected it, then you did another mistake, let's not do the third mistake right now. I don't want to take the blame for the third mistake. Then you'll come back and say, Rahul told me to do this. Okay? I would recommend
Rahul,
that
now I cannot go back and tell them to correct the I-94?
No, you cannot.
Is there any way?
No, you can't. Don't do that. If you go them, and they may even detain you because you're out of status for more than 2 months. They may detain you and put you in the next flight. Don't do that. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, Rahul Garu, we have another question from our YouTuber 𝗬𝗓. She says, sir, what are the chances of H4 EAD working while H4 and EAD application is pending for more than 5 months? Should I resign or continue to work after my current EAD expires? Also, is there any relaxation for EADs to work due to USCIS delays?
If the EAD expires and the new extension of the EAD is not approved, you cannot continue working. The USCIS has made only a small exemption, and I want people to be very careful on how to use this exemption. If they have the H4 EAD approval I-797, that is the document saying that the EAD has been approved from the immigration, even though they don't have an EAD card in their hand, they can work if they have the 797 approval. That's the only exception. It's not online approval. It's not pending. It's the online approval plus the 797 approval. Then they can continue working even if the EAD is not in their hand. That's the only exception available.
Got it. Okay. All right, that makes sense. Rahul, we have a couple more callers. Let's just quickly take them before we close the show for today. Hello? Hello?
Hello? Hello? Yeah. Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, sir. Be here.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
We are able to hear. Go ahead with the question, sir.
Okay. So my question is, I'm on L1A manager role, and I'm getting maxed out in 1.5 years, and my company is getting ready to file my GC. So what is the probability and the best steps that I can take so that I can continue my stay at this point?
I was in the beginning of the show, I said that there is a chance that the priority date can become current. I'm assuming that you're an Indian national born in India. So if the if your company files an I-140 application though, you can file the adjustment of status application if the priority date becomes current. You may ask me the question, can I file if the I-140 is not approved and it's still pending? The answer is yes, you can. That's one step that you can do. The second step that you could do is that you're telling that your L1A maxing out is expiring in 1.5 years. So you could do one other thing is that you can apply in the lottery of H-1B next year, because it's 1.5 year will be past October of 2021. And if the H-1B is selected in the lottery, since your I-140 application will be either pending or being approved and the priority date is not current, you can file, you will be eligible for the H-1B. That's one thing that you can consider if the priority date doesn't become current. Even if the priority date becomes current though, you may still want to have the H-1B option the way I told you. The reason is that if the I-140 is denied, your 485, also called as adjustment of status, will be automatically denied. I told you before that if the I-140 application is pending, you can file the 485 or also called as adjustment of status application. But if the I-140 gets denied, the entire thing falls down. So you can file an appeal on the I-140, but that doesn't allow your 485 application to be resurrected. So you may still want to consider the H-1B option as a defense though. Until the I-140 is approved, you are not safe in the adjustment of status.
Okay, and there is no way that I can speed up the I-140?
Unfortunately,
process, right?
the I-140, there is no premium processing for EB1C, the category in which you are filing.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in, sir.
Thank you for calling in, sir. Thank you so much.
Got it, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Rahul, let's quickly go on to our next caller. Hello?
Hey, actually, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Hi, Rahul. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Actually, one of my friends is he wants to file a green card. So actually, would like to support this. Like he would like to invest some, in any of the projects.
Are you speaking about the EB?
Can you repeat your question again?
One second.
I'm assuming that you're
So can
speaking
you hear me
about that. Yeah, we can hear you now. Much better.
Yeah. So he wants to file for a GC process actually. So would like to know the process, like where to start with. Would like
Are you
to invest
speaking about, investor visa is called, also considered as EB5. Previously it was $500,000 is the minimum investment, and 1 million used to be, there are two categories though, $500,000 and 1 million. It's very hard to explain in this TV show what the difference is, but right now the minimum is 0.9, that's 900,000. And for the full, that is about 1.8 million is the total investment though. A lot of people are under the assumption that you just throw the money in some investment and you will get an employment authorization document somewhere in 6 months. That is not true at all. If you look into the wait time of the I-5 the initial application for the investor visa, if you look into that in the USCIS website, the processing time for that is about 5 years. After 5 years, after you apply, if there is no RFE and if there is an RFE, you add 6 more months. So the processing time may lead anywhere between 5 to 6 years. Then the person will be eligible to file the adjustment of status. That is the 485 application, and that takes approximately 2 years. So the total period takes anywhere between 7 to 8 years to get the green card. Now, after getting the green card, people, let me tell you one thing. The green card is only valid for 2 years. Whoops. What is this guy speaking about? Green card is valid forever. Not true when it is an investment EB5 green card. It's only valid for 2 years. Then within the 2-year period, that means very near when you come to the 2-year period, you can apply for the waiver of the temporary green card. That process may take approximately 3 years. So the entire process might take anywhere between 10 years to 12 years for them to get the green card. Wow. Assuming the business that they invested in is successful. Typically, the business success rate in USA is about 15 to 20%, though. Don't forget about that. So a lot of people think so that the success rate is very high in the EB-5. That is not true. That success rate in the EB-5 is the lowest of all the immigrant visas that I know about.
Okay.
So be careful,
Okay,
take the advice of the lawyer, and then have a realistic goal. I mean, when I go to some of these Indian associations like August 15th or some shows, I go there, when I see little kids and young teenagers that have been hired to tell that you apply this one, you will get an employment authorization in 3 months. They don't even know what they're talking about. And people fall into the trap onto those things. I want you to have the realistic expectation. And once you think so that it meets your requirement, then it's fine. You can proceed. But don't believe the stories. Those people who are going to take your $1 million+ dollars, I mean, they can tell you any stories though. And a lot of these, sometimes those companies just disappear. I mean, you keep on finding them a lot of fraud in these companies. So be careful on those before you invest.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the valuable information, Rahul.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling in. Please like and subscribe to us only on our Facebook and YouTube channels as well.
Yeah.
For all our TVASIA Telugu viewers, and we are available on Dish Network, Sling TV, World TV, and YouTube as well as Facebook. So you can tune in anywhere to watch us any time of the day. So Rahul Garu, as always, this has been a very, very interesting week with a lot of exciting developments and a lot of questions that people had. So thank you once again for joining us, and we hope to see you back in the same show, same time next week. And until then,
thank you. Thank you very much, Nitya Garu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Sorry.